Hey, what's up, CrossFit Ocala? Coach Joey coming in today. It's Wednesday, the 18th, and I wanted to add on a little bit to kind of like the skill series that I've been working on. So today we're going to kind of cover some of the fundamental stuff when it comes to the rope climb here in the gym. I know a lot of you guys have been here and have kind of heard some of this. So we're going to kind of break it down into some specific parts here today, and we're going to keep it simple. We're mostly going to talk about the footwork and kind of getting yourself positioned on the rope, so that way you're enabling yourself to use your lower body to work your way up without necessarily taxing your upper body, and that's ideally what we're trying to achieve here in the gym. A little bit of a hint. Hopefully Coach V doesn't get mad at me for this, but remember this going into tomorrow. The reason why we're probably posting this skill today for you guys as you come into the gym. So the rope climb itself, when we talk about the footwork, ideally we're trying to use as much leverage from our lower body, so that way we're not taxing our upper body trying to get up the rope. We want to use larger muscles, which are typically going to be from about the waist down, middle of the back down, and give our upper body an opportunity not so much to relax, but we want to use them for different areas when we're kind of climbing the rope. So a couple of things to remember when you're learning the rope climb is you don't ever want to really be in a rush. You want to make sure that you take your time, you're paying attention to your footwork, you're just like any other movement that we do in the gym, you want to do repetition and repetition and repetition and repetition to the point where it becomes second nature or habitual. When you go to grab the rope, you don't have to think about what you're doing and you don't have to physically look at what you're doing. You're just creating muscle memory when you go to get yourself hooked into the rope. So when I'm going to get myself positioned in the rope from a standing position in front of the rope, I'm right-handed, so I want to have my right hand up as far up the rope as possible. Now, my right leg needs to be up. Now, this is where some people kind of get to the starting point in the rope climb. This right leg, my knee needs to come up as high as I can. I need to have my toe pulled back or pointed up. I want to be flexing my ankle as much as I can. Some people have better ankle mobility than others, but you need to try to keep it up as much as you can. Now from here, the rope's on the outside of my leg and the outside of the foot. We like to teach the modified J-hook here at CrossFit Ocala. So what we do is we simply take the rope from the outside of the leg and move it to the inside of the leg, but it's still on the outside of my foot. I don't know if you guys can see that from that angle. So from here, kind of standing in front, the rope's on the outside of my foot, outside of my leg. I simply bring the rope to the inside of my leg, but it stays around the outside of my foot. From here, I'm gonna reach myself up, grab as high as I can up the rope. I'm not jumping. Discipline here is gonna be keeping the leg up. I have to be able to reach up, and then from here, I lift my body weight up. I take my other foot, put it underneath, and then my feet need to come together. I'm sorry for spinning. Once my feet come together, I use my legs to come to a standing position, all right? That's kind of like the fundamental thing that you need to practice. You need to practice that over and over and over till you get to a point where you're able to do it kind of subconsciously when you walk up to the rope. Now, a lot of people, they'll get to a place where they're strong enough to hold themselves on a rope for a length of time. They can look down at their feet, pay attention to what they're doing, advance up the rope, move their feet up, advance up the rope, and that's fine. I understand that when you guys are coming into the gym and you're trying to complete a workout and you want to do a prescribed. But when we talk about movement and we're trying to create efficiency in the movement, remember, a rope climb is just like anything else. We're trying to decrease the cycle time, which in turn is going to allow us to move a little bit quicker through the workout efficiently wise and keep the intensity up. But we also want to conserve energy. So if we can get to the rope and get hooked in without having to fumble around with the rope, that's going to save us a lot of energy. Now, if you're somebody who has a hard time focusing on that while you're standing and trying to support your body weight from the rope, you can always come over and grab a box. So what the box is going to allow me to do is it's literally going to allow me to sit down and practice this. So from here, my right leg, the rope's going to be on the outside of the foot, outside of the leg. Got to get on the edge of the box. Pick my foot up, bring it to the inside of my leg, outside of the foot. I'm going to reach up. Right now, I'm not holding my body weight. I'm sitting on the box. I take my other foot, pinch the rope, the feet come together. The rope's in between my knees, and then I can stand myself up. Now, you might swing a little bit because I was out in front of the rope, but this is going to give you an opportunity to practice that footwork position. Now, here's some of the biggest mistakes that people make when they first start climbing a rope in just this portion of it. So we're just talking about the footwork. Number one, actually this is the biggest one. They'll get themselves positioned on the rope, and then when they go to clamp the rope, they don't bring their feet together. I don't know if you guys can see that. So from here, my feet are together. I'm not trying to pinch the rope with a clamping force, and I'm not trying to pinch the rope by bringing my feet together. What I'm trying to do is I'm trying to create a point of friction with the rope. So by putting a big bend in that rope and kind of kinking it in between my feet, the rope's gonna stick there as long as I keep my feet together. If I start to get my feet where they come apart, then the rope's gonna wanna slide through my feet. There's less friction that way. So you wanna make sure that as you're hooking yourself into the rope, that you're getting your feet to a point where they are together. You never want your feet to be on top of each other. So one of the easiest ways to think about this is going back earlier in the video, you wanna keep those toes pulled up. You wanna rely on the point of friction, not your strength, to support your weight on the rope. The other mistake that people make is when they go to stand up, they stand up all the way and then the rope comes out from between their legs when they're halfway up the rope. You have to keep this rope in between your legs, so at your stopping points, you create an extra point of friction by clamping your legs together. Now, depending on how quick you're able to get up and down the rope is gonna depend on how much time that you're having to spend keeping your legs kind of clamped together. But if that rope comes out from between your legs, then you lose a point of friction and it's gonna be more in your upper body. All right, you guys? Obviously, when you come in tomorrow and you have any questions about the rope climb, you can see myself or any of the other coaches that are coaching your class. I wanted to post this tomorrow or today because tomorrow's gonna be squat day. So typically we don't have tons of time to go over any advanced skills on days that we're doing strength. But if you're close to doing a rope climb, obviously, if you come in a couple minutes early or whatever, come grab me or grab one of the other coaches and we can try to get you where you need to be. And if not, don't worry about it. Just come in, practice some of these fundamental things. You know how to get yourself set up now. Literally 4 or 5 minutes a day of hooking into the rope, standing up, getting a feel for the rope, maybe get rid of the box, work on some of that footwork once you get comfortable off of the box, and you'll get there, all right? Just remember, consistency will always yield results. So if you stick to it, you'll get there. I don't know what that time frame is, but I can promise you that eventually you'll get up this rope to the top, and then we'll have to talk about coming down. All right, you guys? Coach Joey out. Everybody enjoy the rest of your day. Hopefully we'll get to see everybody in the gym this afternoon.